Welcome to the new podcast, episode number 117. My name is Steven. I am joined, as always, by producer and co-host extraordinaire, my man,
Yo,
Kelly. Let's get to it. Lots to break down, Kelly, this week here. Man, oh man, we had probably, in my opinion, easily the best card of the year. Probably not one of the craziest cards of all time, really, with the UFC going down last night in front of a, I don't think it was 100% capacity crowd, but it was still pretty darn close. And man, oh man, what a good feeling it was, Kelly. Just, I'm just a bit jealous, really, of America. You know what I mean? At a time like this, months and months ago, we were, feeling sorry for America and all the shit that was going on down there, and now they're laughing at us, bastards. You damn bastards. Where they're opening up, we're unfortunately closing down up here. It's just real shitty. We're getting travel restrictions and everything that, battling variants, and here they're having. It
just shows you like how much we need. Sorry to cut you off.
No.
How much we need our own place to make vaccines.
Yeah.
Like every country needs like their own vaccine. What would you call it? Like a manufacturer.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's something. Unfortunately, we had the option to do it and decided, there's not going to be a pandemic. We'll be fine.
But that's like the huge difference between us and America right now. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's working. That's the only positive thing I can take out of this here. Is, we're slowly getting ours, and it did work. Look, America, had a massive successful event, and like I said, I'm just jealous as shit. You know what I mean? Just being like I said to you time and time again, Kelly, just being in that crowd, being, nuts to butt, shoulder to shoulder, with people, yelling and screaming, and just, man, oh man, just being normal again, really.
Cheek to teeth.
Exactly. Teeth to tits.
Teeth to tits.
Clams to fans.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, it was really good. It was really good to see it.
I think hearing the audience was just huge for me.
Oh yeah,
like,
big time.
Just put me back to pre COVID, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, big time. The fuck Jake Paul chants, The other chants. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a ton of fun.
I think Jake Paul loves it too, because that just shows you how many people are interested in to see him fight.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
That's all those cheers mean.
No, just like wrestling, he's super hated, and people are going to tune in the hopes that he gets knocked out.
Yeah, love him or hate him, as long as you're watching, you're still giving him money.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's all he gives a shit about too. Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
So he was smiling. He loved it.
He made big time bank, apparently, from that Triller main event too. So they're saying the numbers were astronomical, like something like $265 million he made.
Yeah, even DC's getting in his face, giving him clout. Like everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody's giving this guy more attention. He's bigger than Conor McGregor, I think, right now in America and throughout Europe. I think not in Ireland. But everywhere else is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. No, it's hard to argue with that right now. It honestly is. It's really hard to argue with it.
Just everybody's giving him clout. I can't believe so many people are giving him attention. If you don't pay attention to something, it goes away.
Yeah, exactly.
Look what happened to Kim Kardashian. You guys kept giving him attention.
Yeah, exactly.
No
even
offense.
I think she's so rich she doesn't even need the attention
Stupid
anymore.
rich.
She's
Stupid
I need to stop being in the limelight. I don't have anywhere to store my money.
I know, even her sisters, stupid rich. And that's the thing too. They use that to get rich, all the publicity, because they're not really doing much. And then they don't want it anymore. They're they make documentaries about how terrible it is to be in the limelight now.
I feel so sorry for him.
Yeah, he's stupid rich. Your security is handling it. Don't worry.
Exactly. Just buy more security.
Buy more security.
Rich people problems over here.
I'm just totally playing. I don't really care.
I do. No, I don't. No, I don't. But yeah, it was, just exactly that. To see the crowd, see the room slowly filled up from the prelims to the main event. It was absolutely magical. And just to have that pan over, just how excited the crowd was, the cheering, and You know what I mean? Obviously we had a lot of excitement, a lot of squeamish moments, and we'll break down at the end of the show. We're gonna be talking everything MMA that went down. PFL briefly touch base on as well. KSW also going down with a double headliner of title events going down this weekend as well. Break down some video games, and we're gonna get to some review in the reviews. What establishment did we pick this week? Only time will tell. We'll break that down here. But first, we're gonna get some news. What about you, Kelly? You get up to anything really this week?
Not really. Sunny a lot this week, so I went running until it got rainy. I saw it was gonna be, I think all weekend starting Friday evening. So Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, everything, even till next week, is gonna be rainy. So
it's supposed to be rain to as far as future you can see.
Yeah, so I took advantage of it. Went running every day.
Nice.
Totally blew out my legs though, man. But I was running hard because I knew I wouldn't be able to run for a long time anyways.
Ah, nice.
But I don't know. It'd be nice to get a treadmill or something. Huh? Here. I just don't know if it'd where I'd put it.
Just don't get the Peloton one.
Yeah. but then I could just run before the podcast in the studio. You know what I mean?
There you go. Run during the podcast.
Run during, just breathing heavily the whole time. What do you think, Kelly?
You hear just the treadmill engine in the background just whirling, and then
thump.
Yeah, I totally agree. Have me that water.
It'd be good to just warm up.
Yeah, it would be good. Great for radio.
Yeah, no, not Jerry. Not Jerry.
They are bulky though. That's the thing. They do take up a lot of room.
Yeah, I just don't know where I'd put it.
Just jog in place.
Jog in place.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know if that's good of a workout. You're not having that momentum, push. You know what I mean?
No, it's definitely
not. But skipping, I think would be better.
Yeah, skipping is a good one. Yep.
A lot more.
Yeah, skipping's a good one.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Maybe rough for your elbow though. All it's skipping.
Yeah, that's true too. But I find even running was getting it a little bit sore.
Oh really? I can believe it. Yeah.
I don't know if that's good for it though. You're building. I think I'm building the muscle back up anyways.
Well, at least you're not actually physically using it. It's just kind of swinging.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's doing any damage.
No.
If anything, I think it's good for it. So we'll see. I don't know. Other than that, just been playing some phone games.
Nice.
I'll talk about those later, but yeah, that's about it.
Sweet. Alrighty, yeah, I didn't really, honestly, I didn't play much video games this week at all, really. I was kind of just busy with just home shit and really, just kind of being lazy this week. I don't know what it was. Just, if I wasn't doing home stuff, I was kind of just lounging around, really doing nothing. And I barely got any time to play video games at all this week. I think I played video games 3 times this week altogether. So, but I still got some shit to talk about when it comes to that, and we'll break that down later on. But without further ado, let's talk some MMA news. I think it's got to be the biggest announcement, but I'm not as excited as I thought it would be. Israel, the style bender Adesanya, will defend his 185-pound belt against none other than Marvin Vettori, June 13th at UFC 263. I thought I'd be more excited for this, but I just think they both kind of have come off lackluster. Their last 2 victories are kind of lackluster. Israel, losing to Jan Blachowicz. I didn't, which was a terrible fight, really. In my opinion, for Israel's, resume,
Legacy.
Yeah, and for his legacy. And Marvin Vettori had that smart win. Sure, he wasn't a great showing, but he had that smart win against Kevin Holland. But yeah, I just don't know. I just thought I'd be more excited for this. The rematch of these 2 guys. The only guy really to make Israel, look bad. With the exception of Kevin Gastelum gave him a hard showing in their fight. But I'm just not that all excited for this for some reason. They're not
promoting it. That's why. Usually there's all these promotions on these fighters. They didn't promote the other guy at all. What's
Marvin Vettori.
Marvin. They don't promote him at all. There's no highlight videos. There's no nothing through the UFC as far as I can see. Or if I log on to Facebook or anything else, I'm seeing a whole bunch of videos and highlights and everything from everybody else. I think that's all it is. They're not promoting his opponents at all. And I don't think Israel I mean, he's a draw, but I don't think he's like a huge draw like some other of these fighters. So I think you need to have somebody that has like a story behind him to actually promote the fight, where there is nothing right now. So
it really isn't. You know,
I was pretty uninterested when I saw it too. I was like, all right, well, let's round 2.
That's what makes it so interesting. Exactly, it is the rematch. You know what I mean? But exactly that. Are other people feeling the same way? Are there other people feeling the same way? Like, not just kind of, you know what I mean, kind of tuned out of it a little bit. You know, it just, Israel has put on a few stinkers. You know what I mean? The Yoel Romero fight.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, against Jan Blachowicz. And Marvin Vettori is known for going the distance, too. So this could be another one of those really boring fights. And I think, you know what I mean, what do these two dudes bring to the table against each other? And I think we're just, you know what I mean, as MMA fans, we're just spoiled. And we want blood. We definitely want blood. And this one kind of has all the makings of a overglorified a sparring match again. Really, where the first one was okay. You know what I mean? That's just kind of weird. The only reason why I think we want this rematch is because it was the guy who pushed Israel into deep water, and it was the guy who gave him basically the hardest test, but he still lost at the end of the day.
I think Gastelum kind of lit him up too a little bit.
Yeah, Gastelum beat him up. I think the worst. You know, his lip was pretty beat up. Yeah. But Gastelum's coming off a loss as well, and you know what I mean, obviously against Robert Whittaker, the number 1 contender, basically behind Marvin Vettori, and it's tough to beat up. It's tough to beat Robert Whittaker, and I think it's just the unfortunateness of success when it comes to Kevin Gastelum, where he has to fight the top 5 guys his whole entire career.
They announced that Robert was getting the next shot at the belt, didn't they?
They did, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, he definitely should be out after this. He'll definitely take on the winner of Vettori versus Israel.
Oh, I can't wait for that, man. That's exciting to me. I'm talking like I can't wait for that. With the other ones, it's like,
because that one's redemption.
Yeah,
that one's redemption.
Yeah, with this Israel fight coming up, I don't even care.
I'm wondering if the rest of the world feels the same way. Just kind of interesting, but it is a big announcement. You know, like I said, you'd think we would be more excited about it, but I'm really not.
It's almost like they need to put on a WWE type promotion, where like they're just giving, like you're getting like attitude, you're getting like the person's personality. You know those old like countdown to UFC type things. I love those too. Just seeing them train with their coaches and everything, and like the lead up. They don't really even go like into as much detail anymore on that. I don't know. Everything's just kind of like very sterile, like the company, like you know what I mean, like company run instead of like small, like it used to be like the Fatitas or whatever. Yep. And they're like, and Dana White, and they're just kind of like figure out everything. Who was the matchmaker too? He retired like a few years ago, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, Joe Silva.
Yeah, Joe Silva. Yeah. They were kind of like a tight knit thing. Now it seems more like an enterprise.
Yeah, it really is.
You have to go through all these steps to do anything, and it's just really like watering down the whole promotion.
Kind of is. Even with that, speaking of that, with the new matchmaker who was he was in the face-offs. And that was where, last week, where Jeremy Stevens pushed his opponent, and it ended up, like, breaking the dude's neck from, like, pushing him. Yeah, like
I heard it was off because of the push, but I didn't know that. Damn.
Yeah, he was having headaches, and he was puking, and he was having numbness in his arms.
Must have been a disc.
Yeah, exactly. It was just a slip of the disc. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. Herniated disc in his neck.
It can happen so easy. People don't realize.
Yeah, exactly. How crazy is that, though, eh? And he's going to probably sue him.
Good.
Yeah. It's kind of, to happen before the fight. Who'd have thunk it, though? A push.
I wonder, I guess UFC doesn't even cover that.
Well, they gave, I can't remember the guy's name for some reason now, but they gave him his purse. Oh, Drakkar Klose. They gave him his just like a show purse.
Okay.
So they paid him a little bit, at least, but who knows what's going to happen down the road.
Damn. That's crazy.
Just trying to hype up a fight.
It's business. You don't need to get personal like that. Like, just talk. Just like, learn how to.
I can see where he's coming from. He's trying to hype it up. He's trying to get people excited. I can see where he's coming from, but exactly that. You want to hype it up. You want to get. I think what you're saying, Kelly. You gotta You know what I mean? You don't want to get to that situation, but I think you kind of have to end up trying to hate the person in order to bring it to that next level.
But it has to be like we were talking about before, that WWE type like hype up where you're like yelling at each other's faces and talking mad shit. That's what you need to do to sell the fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I understand you might have to get mad at him, so write some good shit that would actually get to him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't need to put your hands on the dude before the fight. That makes no sense because it is business.
Yeah, at the end of the day, exactly. And you know what I mean? He lost out on it because he pushed the dude.
Yeah, like that's like going to work and doing your job early. You know what I mean? For free. and then breaking something, and then you have to go home. Like you're
all off the clock.
You're suspended. All off the clock. You go in early, you break something, you're suspended. No point.
Exactly.
Don't be a go-getter. That's kidding. I don't know what I'm saying.
This announcement that was brought up last week. It was just the official announcement of Conor McGregor versus Dustin Diamond Poirier is official for July 10th at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas with 100% capacity. I think that's quite interesting news. 100% capacity, and a lot of Las Vegas, as reported by Dana White, a lot of Las Vegas newspapers are coming out saying, "Don't do this, and Dana is obviously quite upset with that. Trying to run his business, trying to rebuild the economy down there, and these people sitting at home and writing these newspapers are saying this is a bad idea.
If they all have their vaccinations, I don't really see what's wrong.
Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it either. Yeah, I don't see what's wrong with it either. America is winning the battle. They have some hot spots, but America's winning the battle, and I'm quite excited for this one. I would love to have flown down to Las Vegas to do it if our country would get their shit together, but I would not be able to come back in. That's the problem. I wouldn't be able to come back in, or I could just do what everyone else is doing, just have a fake fucking COVID test and just fly in like everyone else is doing, and then just not quarantine and go like what everyone else is doing as well, and just go to work.
You know what I love about this fight, man? Conor McGregor's talking shit again.
Yep, he is. Yep.
So this is gonna be fun.
And I think it's it was just having the back and forth between him and Poirier over the money for the charity and whatnot. With all that stuff going down, even Poirier coming out later on apologizing, saying I shouldn't have made this public on Twitter. I should have taken a more closed door approach on it, and that's going to obviously piss off Conor.
That'd be funny if it was us off a show and they're like, "Hey, we got to figure out something to sell a little bit more tickets."
Could have been. Yeah, Conor is getting to be quite rich. You know what I mean?
Rich. He wants to buy like a soccer team.
I know. He bought, because there's all this talk about these soccer teams forming this mega league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was a lot of backlash of that. So I think that these, obviously they've lost a bit of money, with the pandemic as well. Obviously not having crowds in the fans or, all the fanfare that goes with it. And people still being able to watch on TV, but definitely, every sports company definitely has taken a hit for the pandemic, and maybe he's going to capitalize on that. Obviously buying out that pub where he punched that dude in, and then banning the guy from ever coming back into it. Did
he really do that?
Yeah, he really does. He's got spite money. He's got spite money.
I think that's hilarious, man. I don't even care who's mad about that. I think that's hilarious. That's the funniest thing you could do if you're rich.
I know, isn't it?
That's like somebody like cuts you off in traffic, so you buy his house and like that he's renting, and like kick him out or something.
Wow, exactly.
That's that kind of like
similar.
Yeah, like you hate the guy so much. And he didn't even touch you, and you punched him in the face.
Yeah, exactly. All he did was he didn't want to have your drink.
Yeah, and then you're gonna buy the pub and ban him.
How fucking crazy is that, eh?
That's so funny, man.
Excited to see this go down either way. Whether or not, Conor buys UFC and then just makes it so it's a 2-on-1 match against Poirier. It's him and Artem Lobov versus Poirier.
They just make Artem an honorary champ and like whatever he's weighing at that moment.
No, they make him the referee, and then there's like wrestling. Artem Lobov is the referee.
He like gets a choke on, and then Artem like pulls it
exactly. Or he's like turning around like, no, I don't see it. Yeah. And like Conor like pulls out like brass knuckles from his underwear and like punches him with it. Could happen. I'm more excited about the 100% crowd, and good for Las Vegas and good for the UFC to finally be back and finally back at a major arena in America. And I couldn't be more excited to see this one go down. I think it's gonna be a mega card. Obviously the rubber match. From winner takes all on this one, and I cannot wait to see this one go down. Moving over to PFL, there's really very little bit of news to talk about when it comes to PFL, except for their blue chip prospect in the women's division. Clarissa Shields has her opponent named, and that will be Brittany Elkins. June 10th is when her fight will also go down. And let's break this down a little bit here. Who the hell is Brittany Elkins? And taking on a very professional boxer, the best women's boxer basically in American history, to switch over to MMA and potentially obviously the UFC, starting at PFL and getting somebody who's kind of an easy. I think this could be an easy one, is what they're obviously hoping for. Let's break it down here. Brittany Elkins. I don't know if she's married to Darren Elkins. I wonder if that is true. But who knows? It could just be. Oh no, I think her name's Elkin, or I'm pretty sure Darren is Elkins. Let's break her down here. Not a great record, 3-6.
Wow.
Yeah, she's got 2 wins by decision, 1 win by a KO. Even her amateur career, she was 1-2 in amateur.
Somebody who hasn't fought has a better record than her.
Yeah, she's in the negatives, and Clarissa Shields is at least even right now.
Dang.
Lost to Kayla Harrison, as everyone does. Recently lost to Bobby Joe Dalziel by TKO. Exactly. She's, and Amanda Bell is who she fought in Bellator and lost to Amanda Bell. So she lost to a woman who's 7-7, Amanda Bell, the lady killer. Let's see who this Bobby Joe Dalziel is here, in some weird organization. Bobby Joe is actually Canadian. Where is she fighting out of? She's fighting out of Ontario. She's also fights in PFL. Weird. Yeah. So she at least has a winning record. And she beat Cola Shipping Tower Willingham. What a name. Shipping Tower Willingham?
Shipping Tower.
Weird name. I know, that's weird. Shipping Tower Willingham. 2 last names? Very odd. Who also has a losing record. So that's what the worst part about this woman is that she's got a losing record against women who also have losing records. Not a good stat. So I think they're obviously feeding her to hopefully the Wolves and Clarissa Shields. Hard to build up. I think it's one of those weird things where it's going to be hard to build somebody up when you have the PFL, like the PFL structure, really, because they have it kind of like a, where everyone's in a division, no matter what, everyone has to fight each other. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to build up talent when you're throwing them to your top talent right away? Like she's eventually going to have to fight Kayla Harrison. And I think it's a bad idea for her. You're fighting a judo champ and who is easily the toughest woman outside of the UFC, not named Chris Cyborg. Mm-hmm. And you're gonna throw her against her when she has only boxing experience. It's kind of a weird thing, and I don't know why. Maybe she obviously there was the best money for her was to go to PFL. Maybe there's the first person that called and said, "Hey, do you want a job?" And she said yes, rather than really thinking about it, getting some some amateur stuff in some lower weight in some no name organizations like LFA or something like that.
That's why like Invicta and stuff. They like to build the women up before they feed them to like top
absolutely
competition. Or they send them to the UFC. Like they send the good fighters, not the ones that are like 7-7.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I definitely think these smaller organizations should definitely be building these women up rather than just feeding them to the sharks. Doesn't make any sense.
No, I totally agree. But let's see. I will definitely be tuning in for this one here. To see Clarissa Shields take, in her MMA debut.
But it would be a good way to like, promote your champ. Like just show all these highlight reels where they're just like beating the shit out of all these cans.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Look how vicious our champion is. When was the last time Amanda looked this good? She's
Yeah,
like kneeing this can in the face and her nose explodes. She's like had one fight.
Exactly. She's like 1 in 9.
She has like 3 kids she has to take care of too and a full-time job.
She like walks to the ring with her kids.
Just
So
like
the sitter canceled on her.
just like not like a full-time athlete. Just destroys her.
She takes off like her 7-Eleven hat.
Just like tons of responsibility.
This is my lunch break.
This is like tons of responsibility against some woman who can train full time.
Yeah.
And she's a national champ.
Fighting on our lunch break.
That's the kind of people that they're fighting right now.
Yep.
That's why the records are so terrible.
Kind of is. Moving right along, speaking of terrible records, Kelly, what a segue into Tyrone, the chosen one. Woodley will have to choose a new promotion to fight for. Walking away from the UFC, Tyrone Woodley's contract has expired, and it is no surprise that they let him go. 4 losses in a row.
He was chosen to give his walking papers to.
Just, you know what I mean? Sad to see him go, kind of. Not really, you know what I mean? Because he had a lot of stinkers, and, you know, just, it's kind of good that he's not going to be tying up the welterweights anymore. He was a great gatekeeper and definitely, you know, former champion. I think his championship run was probably the worst in the UFC, really.
And at one point, he was saying he was the best, like, not even like 2-3 years ago. He was saying he was like the best.
He really was. Yeah, he really was saying he was the best. Yeah, you know what I mean? He beats Robbie Lawler. That was a great way to get he never gave Robbie Lawler his rematch. I think that's what was kind of bullshit. We never saw the rematch. It was a quick knockout, flash knockout. It was a decisive knockout. You know, it was deserved that he did get the win and got the belt. But then, you know, we see the Stephen Thompson, you know, the first majority draw, which was probably one of the worst fights of all time in the UFC. And then we have to wait a whole nother year to get the rematch. And it was a more decisive win. Still a very boring fight. And then we see him defend against Damian Maia. You know, Damian Maia loves to choke when a fight means something. And then Darren Till, where he defended against Darren Till, which was a decisive victory. You know, with that Darce choke. You know, I mean, knocking him loopy and then getting that choke on him. And then we obviously see him lose to Usman, lose to Gilbert Burns, lose to Colby Covington with the rib injury, and then recently, you know, his most recent loss to Vincent Luque.
I think his last, the Carmo Usman, Gilbert, and Kobe, probably top 3 in the division.
They really are, yeah. And Luque is, you know, top 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the reason, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we kind of, like, is he still with it? Like, can he still fight? So they gave him, like, a top 10 instead of a top 5. And he's still lost. Yeah. And I think that's, if anything, why they sent him home.
And just sad. You can see it. It was very similar to Rory McDonald. You know what I mean? The same thing where he would come in, put on a good show for the first 2.5 minutes, but as soon as the other guy would mount any offense, he just would kind of not do anything. Just kind of, you know, just defend, not throw punches, hold, you know what I mean, be content with being held up against the fence, and he would sit there and do that forever. You know, he actually has a loss against Rory McDonald. But where does he go, Kelly? PFL? Does he go over to Bellator? Celebrity boxing.
That's what he's gonna do, man.
I think so. I think he is, because he's best friends with Ben Askren, and he was calling out. He was definitely calling out Jake Paul as well after this. And do we see that? I think it makes sense. How do you think he fares, though?
I think Jake Paul's is gonna be bigger than him.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, because
the reach is gonna be better for Jake Paul. Even though Tyrone does have a good reach.
Yeah,
like his wing, I guess they call it a wingspan.
Yep,
it's pretty damn good, man. Like he has like John Jones type reach. So I don't know about how much longer Jake Paul's reach is gonna be, but he is a bigger guy. He's a heavier guy. He throws heavy punches, and he's been training just boxing, and I think that's a huge difference than these guys that, you know, train like grappling, wrestling, boxing, you know, kickboxing, Muay Thai, like all the disciplines, jiu-jitsu. You know, it's a lot different when you're just focused on one sport, and you get that one sport, like the stance, the slips, the jabs,
absolutely.
you know, all that shit down, and you get fluid with it. You know what I mean? You keep doing it. It's kind of like if you keep playing the same video game, you get fluid with it, you get better with it.
Absolutely, you can do it in your sleep type thing.
Instead of just playing a whole bunch of games, and you're like, oh wait, how do I do this? Like, it's slightly different on this game, right? So I think that's going to be a huge difference. And, you know, I don't know, man, because Tyrone Woodley, I don't know how his chin is anymore.
Exactly.
And he's going to be a smaller guy with
he's only
a
5'9"
questionable chin. So I think Jake Paul might knock him out. Who knows? But
I can see it. Yep.
I think he's going to do way better than Ben Askren.
Yeah, at least he has KO victories on his record, but he has a lot of KO losses on his record too.
You know,
the one that always sticks out to me for his career was the loss against Nate Marquardt for the Strikeforce 170-pound belt. That one always sticks in my mind with that nasty elbow he got up against the fence that just folded him.
Yeah.
Undefeated up till that point, and then losing to one hell of a journeyman in Nate Marquardt.
But man, if he can learn how to keep his gloves up, and like, you know, I think Tyrone could take body shots. So if he keeps his gloves up, you know, it's a bigger glove, he can protect his head.
Yeah.
I think he might be able to do work as long as he can learn how to. I don't know, man. Like, he wasn't that. Did he like bob and weave a lot in the UFC? I don't think he did.
He had a decent stand-up game, but yeah, exactly. He was still, you know, just more like a strong wrestler who could throw punches, really. But
yeah, I think he kind of planted. I don't think
yeah,
that's good.
I don't think he was exactly. And you see in his last fights, he was starting to get more and more planted.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I could see him if he's going to be MMA. I think, you know, I mean, PFL. I think is calling out a lot of dudes. I think a lot of people are being attracted to that $1 million paycheck at the end of the year. So I think it could either be PFL, Bellator, I don't know, but, you know, maybe even ONE FC. Does ONE FC somehow throw some stupid money at him? And does he go there? The future is kind of open for him, and I think this could be a good opportunity for him to get paid.
I see two things. I see either celebrity boxing.
Yep.
Or George Mazadov's bare knuckle boxing.
Oh, wow.
Because I think they get paid there, too.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. It'll be interesting to see. You know, I mean, we always see these guys, you know, just have like even like a few UFC wins and losses on their record get big money. You know, like Corey Anderson getting big money from Bellator. You know, this guy's a former champ.
Yeah. In
the UFC, so only time will tell. It'll be very interesting.
Because all they has to do is like give him some pay-per-view buys or whatever they do, or like commercial revenue or whatever it is, to fight. And I think that's gonna be a huge paycheck at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And the biggest announcement of the week, Kelly, will be Amanda Nunes defending her 135-pound belt finally against none other than a Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena, UFC 265. Going down. Cannot wait for that one. That one's going to be a stacked card. And it's got one hell of a stacked main event with Amanda Nunes, the champ, finally defending the 135-pound belt against a very, very tough opponent. Going to be a tough one, though, Kelly. I don't know if, you know, Pena's kind of had ups and downs. You know, she obviously had a big victory just recently, but she had a big loss before that, and now, you know, I mean, as we see in these women's division, it doesn't take much to get into the title picture, and I think it's some much needed lifeblood going to be coursing through the veins of this division here coming up, because this fight, it's almost going to be a lose-lose if Amanda Nunes loses, because I think she relinquishes the belt afterwards, and if Juliana Pena wins it, who does she fight? So it's going to be an interesting one, but I think obviously you got to go with history on this one, and I'm picking Amanda Nunes just to win it. She's just so good on the ground, so good on her feet. I think Pena has good showings on both the ground and the feet as well, but I think just Amanda Nunes edges her out. Who do you think takes it, Kelly?
I think Amanda Nunes is going to win, like, pretty easily, pretty soundly. I don't know if there's anybody who could fight. Like, I'm like thinking when you're like announcing like her next opponent, I'm like thinking they should announce two opponents at the same time, like the tag team thing is it. Like, that would actually interest me, and I still wouldn't know who to pick. You know what I mean? Like that's how good she is. I think she could compete with the men's division.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to see.
I have no idea. Like, fuck, man. Like, I gotta pick Amanda every single time.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
the betting odds are gonna be like heavily in her favor as well.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know with her, man. She could retire and no one would ever be like, oh, what if she fought this girl though? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many people so far behind her that it doesn't make sense.
It really is. Yeah, good call, man. There really is no, you know what I mean? She's just head and shoulders above everyone else, so high up that it's just, you know what I mean? Who the hell is she going to fight that's even going to give her a challenge?
Valentina and Rose, same time.
At the same time, wow.
That might be interesting, but I still think she
I don't know. I think she still have a good chance of winning.
Yeah, I think she would.
Oh, shit. I like that one going down, though, and I can't wait to see that card, see how that card shapes up down the road. Well, then, what about some working out info, Kelly? You know, we talked about some of your running in the beginning of the show there. You get up to anything else with your work, with your running, or that was about it?
Just running.
Yep.
I haven't been doing any lifting. I kind of want to get into like lifting a little bit again, but I'm just still doing physio with my arm.
Nice.
So getting that back to where it was. Should probably take another 3 weeks. Hoping quicker than that, but who knows? With these type of injuries, but optimistic, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I was playing, like I said before, I was playing kind of cutting at this point, anyways.
Yeah.
So like cutting calories and stuff like that. So I was probably just gonna do more cardio anyways. So for like a injury to happen, like it's probably the perfect time for it to happen.
Yeah, eh? That's hilarious.
So I'm not really worried about it, and then I'll be able to start lifting again like fall.
There you go.
Yeah, so
that's good goals in mind. Nice, I like it. Well then, back by popular demand, reviewing the reviews. Gonna go a little bit of a different place here. I don't know if we've ever done this place here yet, and I saw a commercial for it on the way in, so I thought, you know, what the hell not? Sonic Drive-In in the States is like a place that has shakes and different drinks and shit like that. Quite the menu they have there. That's for damn sure. Burgers and fries and shakes and hot dogs and crap. And it's a drive-in. It's kind of cool. I remember seeing one in the States, but I never stopped in on it when last time I was there a few years ago.
That's the perfect design, like, for a pandemic. But
yeah, it really is, isn't it? They were pre-pandemic made.
But the only issue is, like in Vancouver or North Vancouver, especially right now, they're building all these new high rises, and they only have something like 23% to like 30% capacity for cars. So everybody else has to take public transportation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So like a lot of people aren't gonna have vehicles; they're all taking public transportation. So they're not going to be able to go to things like this.
Well, I guess if you could like set up, because there is like a walkway to get into it. If you set up like outside picnic tables, but still,
yeah, that's what you'd have to do.
Yeah, how are you gonna do? But you can't do picnic all year round, right?
You could do outdoor heaters.
That's true.
That's gonna cost a little bit for the electric bill, but it'd still work.
Still, you know, that's a good point. That's a good point.
It depends how much business you get and how much your food costs. Like that's all profit to
of course
cost, right? So
this one's gonna be an easy one to find bad reviews, though, man. They got 4 stars, which is pretty good, Kelly, out of 2,919 reviews. That's a lot. Number 1 tag is drive-thrus and slushies and tots, like tater tots.
That's the one thing like a lot of fast food restaurants are missing, like slushies or slurpees,
yeah,
whatever you want to call them. That'd be cool for the
summer. It would be, yeah. A lot of recent reviews. This one seems fake as hell, so I gotta read it here. MP. This person's saying they graduated, but they look like they're quite old.
Holy fuck. There's no way he just graduated from what?
I know. Let's read this. MP, 137 reviews, 5 stars, 3 weeks ago. I celebrated my graduation this evening in this delicious restaurant. Happy to tell that we passed a tremendous evening, and the place was definitely the reason for this successful gathering. The waiters collaborated in a very nice manner. The cooking was extremely good, and my guests were all delighted. We shall definitely come back again for more celebrations. Thank you. Waiters? That's just weird. I don't know if this guy reviewed the right place.
It was like a He's like graduated. He took his cognitive test and he passed. He's like, you graduate your cognitive test. Congratulations, old man. He's like, I'm still with it.
I know, what the hell did he graduate from? Very weird.
Old but still lit.
He got his security guard degree. A lot of people loving the drinks. Here's a good one here.
It only took him till he was like 76 to graduate.
Exactly.
Good for him.
Good for him. This one's a good one here. FD 5 reviews, 1 photo, and this is the only photo as well. 1 star 2 weeks ago. Getting some recent ones here, Kelly. Disappointing meal. Mixed up my order and forgot items. Fries and tater tots taste like they're cooked in 5-day-old grease. Had a weird meat taste.
A weird meat taste.
Grilled cheese had some weird brown liquid substance. What I'm assuming is grease. That looks pretty gross.
That's grease.
That's grease. Hot dog was dry. Took 1 bite and threw it out. The only thing that I actually enjoyed was a lemonade slushie and fudge shake. And there was even a response. It does look quite gross. There is a response from the owner. Thanks for reaching out. We encourage you to escalate your feedback to the franchise owner so we can hold the drive-in accountable by giving us a call. Wow. They want to take this to the highest level. Here's another good bad one here.
Good bad one. Let's go.
TDL, 2 reviews, 1 star. Oh, I forgot to mention, this is in LA. I didn't think I mentioned it, but this is the Sonic in LA. 1 star a month ago. I ordered a hot dog and pickles, mustard and ketchup. Order of onion rings and small tater tots. Hot dog was the cheapest quality dog. Didn't even eat it. I ate pickles that were on it. Onion rings were so undercooked. Tater tots were great. Iced tea was great. Wouldn't eat here again. Very disappointing. Very friendly service.
I don't understand.
Very weird review.
I don't understand why you go to a fast food place for a hot dog.
It is kind of weird one. I know what you mean, eh?
It seems like more like a 7-Eleven cheap ass shit thing to do.
Kind of does.
You know what I mean, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Kind of is weird. And this person just said the response from the owner just sorry that this happened. Appreciate you letting us know. They're just like, we don't give a fuck. Sorry.
I know, and that's not something like like before where they're like, oh, contact their franchise.
Yeah.
They wouldn't say that because they're like talking about the quality of the hot dog, and that's on them.
Exactly. We know our hot dogs are terrible. Why are you ordering hot dogs off of us? Kind regards. Here we go, and then we got a newbie review here, Kelly. FG1 review and new podcast newbie review. 2 stars 2 days ago. I like the 2-star review. Gives them room for improvement. If you're in a hurry and looking for a fast food place, do not, I repeat, do not come to Sonic. They are anything but fast. This person loves using exclamation points and capitals.
Nice.
The food is good, but I always have to question if it's worth the wait. Wow. Mad that they have to wait for their food to be cooked. I always love that one.
I'm sorry. We need to cook your beef, sir. No, I want now. I want frozen burger. Let's go.
And same thing in response from the owner, just like saying, sorry. Thank you for letting us know.
Thanks for letting us know how long it takes to cook our food. You know what I love, though? When you go to McDonald's or something and you get, like, this fucking greasy fucking burger where it's just, like, all over the fucking wrapper and you're like, you know that the meat has just been sitting in those trays forever and that's why there's so much fucking grease on them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'd wait for my food.
Absolutely. You're going to cook, I'd rather have it cooked fresh than sitting in that vat of nastiness.
Yeah.
Microwave warmer.
Exactly. It's pretty nasty.
This is weird. Okay, let's read this one here. DL 13 reviews, 1 star 5 days ago. Get a lot of new ones. I like this. Got 3 orders of the cookie dough big scoop, and there was no big scoop.
Whoa, dude, really?
Cookie dough big scoop. That's interesting.
Man,
I wonder.
That's wild, man.
I wonder what the hell the big scoop is. The order took forever. had to reorder because they didn't even process it.
What?
And it was waiting for over a half an hour.
Oh, shit, dude.
And we even asked the guy, there's a big scoop, right? And he said yes at the bottom.
At the bottom?
At the bottom, there's a big scoop.
Big scoop at the... What does that mean, dude?
Hold on a second here. I gotta translate redneck here. There was nothing on the bottom. We decided to just leave because it took forever just to get the wrong order.
Dude, that's gnarly, dude.
They at least this person did get the report the franchisee.
No way.
A lot of people saying it's super packed and super busy.
Let's find out what a big scoop is, man.
Yeah, no, let's look up the big scoop. What's the big
What's the big scoop?
Sonic Big Scoop. I know, and it wasn't at the bottom. What is the big scoop?
Big scoop cookie dough blast. Is that it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that is it. Yeah, that is it.
It looks like a fucking a milkshake with cookie dough. How high was this guy?
I know, so they didn't have like the shit in the bottom.
Why the fuck would you ever order this?
Let's just click on the image here. Yeah, weird. Yeah.
It looks nasty, dude.
Kind of does, yeah.
I don't know. I think that's one of those California legalized weed treats.
Let's keep going here. Another person complaining because of long lines. Everyone's complaining about long lines.
But that's not it's not the business's fault.
No, that's not their fault.
It's not like, okay, we'll just open up another restaurant right next door so there's less lines. They can't just do that. There's only so much capacity in that building for the kitchen, for the tills, for seating, for the restrooms. You can't fucking change that.
Exactly. It's not their fault. Here's a good one here, Kelly. This person just seems absolutely psychotic. LL, 12 reviews, 1 star a month ago. I'm only giving it a star. Service was nice, but the orders got mixed up. The burgers weren't even good as it looked in the commercials. Newsflash for you, bud. The fucking...
They paint that.
They never look like they do in the commercials. That's fake food you're seeing in the commercials,
yeah,
you
man.
fucking moron.
They glue the lettuce on and
I know, it's all fake. It's all plastic.
Disclaimer. If you have children, do not listen to the following. Turn it off for the next 5 seconds. Thank you.
Cover your child's ears.
Seriously. Just seriously. Okay, back to the regular scheduled program.
I got news for you. Santa's also not real. The Tooth Fairy doesn't come to your house.
Don't talk about the Easter Bunny.
And
No.
And I'm sorry to let you know the Easter Bunny also doesn't exist. It had no flavor, and they didn't give me pickles. Maybe you have COVID. That's why the fucking burger had no flavor, you dumbass. Go get yourself tested.
Imagine letting your kids listen to this.
I know. Terrible idea.
It pretty much is.
My lettuce was soft and tasted like rotting pickles. So they didn't get pickles, but their lettuce was soft and tasted like rotting pickles.
Wow.
So
that's probably
are you
why
mad
they didn't put
or
the
not
pickle on
mad?
it,
Are you
because
mad
they're
or not
rotting.
mad? Because you kind of got pickles.
They took it off because it was rotting.
I didn't finish my fries. I too grossed out. I too grossed out. Sorry, I won't be eating there again. Well, I'll be damned. Another response, say contact the franchisee. It's been pretty good. Sonic's is doing pretty good. Let's round it out here with one more. Not that one. Another person saying that the food doesn't look like the commercial as well. Like, how dumb are you people?
I don't understand. Like, have you ever been to a fast food restaurant before? Because you don't need to tell people that if you've been once.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
So, I don't know, man. That's weird.
All right, here we go. Here's a good one here. I'll finish this off on this one. I love this shit. SB, 29 reviews, 1 star, 3 weeks ago. While in the drive-thru, March 24th, 2021, A poster advertised a chicken slider for $2.49. At the window, the employee said, "Oh, that's off promotion now. It's 30 cents more." Isn't that false advertising? Fraud.
Fraud.
Fraud. I could see if it was something else, but 30 cents.
Yeah.
Come on here, America. 30 cents. That's gonna make or break you here. Come on.
It's fraud. I'm gonna sue.
I know. I'm gonna sue them for 30 cents. Interesting Sonics. A whole different world down there. Very, very, very good, Sonics. Keep up the good work. Or the bad work. Whatever the hell you guys do over there.
I always based how well someone's life is going on how outraged they get off little things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if 30 cents sends you over the top where you have to, like, write down a review saying fraud and stuff like that, like, obviously your life isn't going as well as it should be. Because if it was, you would have been like, oh, that's weird. Give him another 30 cents.
All right, I'll get something else then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just whatever you want.
Well, maybe take down the poster. I'll get something else then.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Super weird.
I love it. That's hilarious.
Oh, man.
Well done, Sonics. Well, then, let's take a little breather. We will be right back after these brief messages.
Do you hate it when you go to pay for something and it's more expensive than you thought it was? What? This is 15% more than I thought it would be. Come on down to Leon's. We already added the tax for you, stupid ass people. That way you don't get mad at our cashiers who have nothing to do with the taxes. That's $18.99, sir. Oh, thank you. That's exactly what I thought it would be. We know, 'cause you're a dumbass. Have a great day. Come on down to Leon's. We do the stupid work for you.
Prices are pre-haggled, you sons of bitches, so shut the fuck up. Do you hate people? Do you hate going to the store and seeing people?
I sure do.
The nasty look on their faces with all their damn germs.
Ugh.
Who knows if they just finger banged a hooker in the parking lot. Now they're touching the same cash register as you are. Disgusting. Have we got the solution for you? PayPal and money transfers. Never see a person again.
Woohoo!
You just have that delivery driver drop at your doorstep and you politely give him the middle finger through the window. Sign for this. Here's my signature right here, sir. PayPal. Helping people avoid the outside since 1992. Tired of nothing being on Netflix? Watched everything on your PVR? Well, tonight, take the family to Blockbuster Video Rental. We're somehow back, searching through aisles and aisles of VHSs. We don't carry DVDs here, only VHSs. What is that? You'll have to ask your grandpa to find out. Action films, dramas, comedies, and we even have a special 18 and over section, if you know what I'm saying. Wink. Put a little fire in your life and rent a porno from Blockbuster today. Free internet porn? Never heard of it. Blockbuster. We think we're still around. Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our commercials and go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water on the house. You know I'm talking tap water. Let's talk some motherfucking video games. I said I didn't play a whole hell of a lot, and but I did get a new game. I was kind of getting tired of Madden, to tell you the truth. I was playing a game, and I got fucked around by a glitch, and it really pissed me off. So I was pretty pissed off. Play a whole game and then get right down to the end and get fucked around on your challenges. Pretty annoying. But I did get another good card. I'm not a huge fan of the Ultimate Team on this one here with how the coin system works. I know you get more coins in the coin system, and then in turn the packs cost more. So I just find myself I'm saving up more, and it just seems like I can see where they're coming from, why they did it, but it just seems like kind of like a longer way to get to where you need to go. And but I did get a good card. I got a Ray Lewis card, so I think it was like 94 overall, which was a pretty damn good card for a middle linebacker too. My defense is just lights out amazing too, but I was pretty pissed off my last game, to tell you the truth. It's kind of annoying because like the computer does get smart and wise to you throughout the game, but if you keep playing challenges, the computer will eventually get wise to you from playing different challenges, even though technically you are playing different games all the time on the challenges. The computer will still be able to track what you do and kind of use it against you. So I kind of find that a bit annoying too. I understand the computer's smart and everything like that, but they shouldn't be able to, hone in on my shit no matter what. And it just, it sometimes you're just meant to lose the game. There's no way you're going to win the game, and I find that annoying too. But like I said, maybe I'll pick it up down the road, but I think I'm actually kind of done with it, to tell you the truth. So We'll see what happens. Yeah, like I said, I may pick it up. I tried to play a little bit earlier today because I'm like, I got a little bit of time. I'll try to play, and I don't know if it was my internet or the EA service, which just kept on crashing on me. So I was pretty pissed off at that. But maybe I'll pick it up again. I don't know. But a game I bought that was on sale for like $12. It was shitty that the spring sale didn't last nearly as long as it did last year. Spring sale wasn't even 2 weeks. It was like 10 days.
I didn't even buy anything from that.
Yeah, there was so much. There was a lot of crap and a lot of like old stuff, like a lot of like old titles that they still want like $20 for.
No, what?
You know what I mean? Like the Dark Souls stuff. You know what I mean? If you get that, I understand the game. You're just never gonna go below $20, but I just don't know if I want to take that risk for Dark Souls. But I bought the Survivalist. Was a game I bought for $12. It's from the makers of the Escapist series, which I thought the Escapist was kind of a lame game. But the Survivalist is kind of cool. You have it's very interesting. You get so you crash on an island and you got to build shit. Like a normal survival game, and you gotta build shit. You need to build different things, and get different materials to craft different things and so on. But the one interesting thing is you got monkeys. So you save a monkey, or you got to give a monkey something in order to save him, and then he'll become like your servant. So you can get him to do different tasks. Like you could set him up. So you got to show him. You throw a banana to him, and you show him chop down trees. So you start chopping down trees, and you give him an item. You give him like an axe or something like that to chop down trees, and he'll chop down trees. They'll also fight for you. You get attacked by like goblins and shit like that on this island. So that's kind of interesting. There's bats at night too, and I barely scratched the surface. But once again, this one kind of pissed me off too. There's a lot of secrets and that type of thing in this, which was interesting, but my monkey got stuck. I built a raft, but then I realized you need a sail for the raft. I'm like, okay, that's fucking kind of annoying. Why would you give me the raft and not give me the sail? And I don't even see the sail anywhere on any of my building graphs. I'm like, okay, that's kind of lame. So then my monkey goes on the raft, and now I can't get him off. He just won't come off the raft. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird. And you can call them or get them to you, and it's glitching out. So I look it up, and everyone's saying, yeah, it happens to me all the fucking time. And they're just saying eventually he just starts following you again. I'm like, fucking great. The one monkey I have is now stuck on a fucking raft. So I was pretty upset about that. And like a cheap game is almost broken. So I was pretty pissed off at that. I really wanted to get into the Division 2 this week, but I just felt like I really needed to give it more time rather than just jumping in for a half hour or 10, 15 minutes here. I think that game needs at least an hour to really dive into it, and then, get your bearings about it and start playing. But said barely played anything, kind of in between games right now. So I'll see where this takes me. I'm hoping to get to the Division 2. If not, maybe I'll go back to Cyberpunk, but we'll see where it goes. What about you, Kelly? What games did you get through this week, man?
I've been playing a lot of Apex.
Nice.
So I think next 10 days they're gonna launch a new season. It looks like the new Legends are gonna be named Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
So basically her ability is she can fly for a little bit, like
Whoa.
a little while. And I guess she has like grenades or like bombs that she can launch as one of her abilities too. So I don't know. I guess the flying would probably be the ultimate, but I don't know yet. And then the grenades thing would kind of be like like her passive, not her passive,
right.
But her like her ability that she gets every once in a
while.
Yeah. And then like her passive ability, I don't know, maybe she glides down, probably something like that, but who knows? So I can tell you more about her like in the next 10 days, I guess, when they launch a new season. But nice. It seems like a really good Legend. I think I'm bored with like a lot of the Legends right now. I just realizing like how terrible most they are for like the new maps and the new gameplay and everything like that. Like, it kind of seems like a lot of their powers were like nerfed so bad that it just doesn't even matter. Like, I've been playing Octane a lot just because he can recover life by himself, and he's also like super fast when he needs to be. Plus he has a jump pad so he can get to like different levels. So like for like these huge maps, like just being able to like recover health and like move like really quickly, it really helps in these huge maps that they have. And it looks like they made another huge map for the new season.
Cool.
That's what it looks like.
Nice.
So we'll see how that goes too. But like I guess the maps were always huge, but they always had like cities or something like that. Where people like kind of like competed in. Where like even like these are like it's just so much open space even through like the little cities and towns right now, like in the Olympus map. So like a lot of range weapons work better, unless you're just trying to like get people as they're coming into buildings. But yeah, so like that Valkyrie, like for the big maps, it makes a lot of sense that, you know, like she looks like she can cover a lot of ground like fast, and that's kind of like the legend. That I can see her being super popular.
Nice.
Like, super popular.
Yeah, like you said, you know, the new map's gonna be kind of like that.
Yeah. So yeah, like a lot of the old legends are really good still. You know, like Caustic and like Bangalore and like Octane and I mean Wraith isn't even that good anymore. Like I said before, you could see where she's going even when she turns invisible. And the portal's hardly ever used. Like nobody even cares about it. So
that's shitty. It's almost like her ability is kind of mega ability is kind of just been totally thrown aside as one of the shittiest.
Yeah, no, she should go totally invisible again. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense. Like, the portal is almost useless, especially how fast it kills you on the final few rings too.
Yeah.
So it's not like you'd even use it. So yeah, I've been playing quite a few games. I've been playing a mixture of like ranked and unranked. Just because they've had like the new war games or whatever. So I was playing that for a bit.
Nice.
War games. I guess you just start with like a shield and whatever. There was one where like you got like a respawn token. So when you died, or like whenever you wanted to use it, like if you got knocked, you could just use a respawn token. That was pretty cool. That didn't last for too long though. So during the war games, I just wanted to like get it over as soon as possible, just because like every other reward that you got in it was like a battle pass level.
Oh, nice.
So I was able to use that to finally like cap for the whole season. So I'm like cap for the war games, I'm cap for the whole season. So I've pretty much done everything I need to do to get all the rewards and like unlocks and everything like that. So I'm just basically waiting for the next season. I really want to unlock the new character though. Like, it looks pretty dope, but I'm just like wondering how many people are gonna want to use it. And I'm having like a real issue with people like freaking out when you pick their legend because you pick before them. And it's like who cares, man? It's like,
I know, it's part of the game.
If someone picks my legend, I just let it ride. I don't even care who it picks. I'm like, I guess I'm in for a surprise. So like, I don't even give a shit. So it's really weird when someone like freaks out over a legend. Like, just you must have like another legend that you can use.
Of course, it's not your legend.
Yeah.
It's the game is open. If you know what I mean, exactly that. You don't have to play with a different one. It happens to everyone every single time.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So with the mobile games, I downloaded 2 games. I downloaded Mushroom Wars 2, and then I downloaded Northgard. And I played
lucky bastard.
So I played Northgard quite a bit. Super fun. It kind of does remind me of like Warcraft, not World of Warcraft, but like the original Warcrafts, spacecraft, things like that, where you just kind of like build troops and then go out into battle. They have like pretty cool things. Like, the graphics are pretty good. They have like cool things, and like they have like wolf dens where you have to like kill the wolves before you can set up like your camp in the area, stuff like that. With the mobile version, it lets you use the what would you call it, the menu. It makes you like, you can choose any size you want to make it.
Yeah.
So it can be as big as you want. But I found if you like, I made it really big at first just so it'd be clear. But I realized like I was missing like the function buttons, like the buttons that I could actually use to operate and like play the game, is hidden by the menu.
Oh, weird.
I have no idea why they make it so you can made that menu that big where it like completely breaks the game, but it does. So you have to set it smaller, and it's totally like legible. I don't know why they make it so you can make it so big where it just like becomes unplayable, but it does. So when you start the game, play it with a smaller menu, it works way better. It's pretty easy to learn. It really is just playing like a PC, like a strategy PC game. It does play like really well on the phone. All the functions work like really good. I find when you're selecting multiple characters, it could be a little bit finicky. Maybe they'll update that later on because they did just port it, so like things are gonna be a little finicky before like the developers can get back and fix things and adjust things for the new community. It does look like there's gonna be lots of DLC for it. I can't say too much about the game right now because I haven't played too much.
Yep.
But I have played like a few hours, I guess.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, from what I played, super happy with my purchase. I highly recommend this game, especially if you are a PC player that has like long commutes.
Yeah.
This would be like an awesome like addictive type game.
I know. I wish I could get it, man. I totally wish I could fucking get it. Damn you, Google.
So far, like for me, it's a 10 out of 10. Like I love the game so far. The other game I've been playing was called Mushroom Wars 2. Basically, it's like a numbers game where you have like all these mushrooms, and like you have to upgrade them by using these troops that are developed by the mushrooms. The more upgraded the mushroom, the more it produces per second, and the more little troops that you can get. And then you gotta send these troops out to other mushrooms and take them over. And then once you take them over, you can upgrade those, and you're basically battling. It's like so far it's been like orange versus green or whatever. Right. You're just battling like the other computer to take over these mushrooms. I don't know. It's like a fun little game. I don't know why I like it so much, but I've been playing it a lot too.
I think I played the first one.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and they add like new elements to every level. And like there's like one game where I had like these other type of like alien mushrooms come down, and then me and like the other mushrooms were battling against him together, which was really fun. If you go on easy, you can actually see how many mushroom guys, like the troops each mushroom has. So it makes it easier to like send troops to take over that mushroom.
That's cool. Yep.
But they will send troops to that mushroom to defend it as well.
Right.
So like a better strategy would be to send some troops to that mushroom and then wait to see who they send from other mushrooms and send like
Oh, I see. I got you. Yeah, kind of bait them out. Yeah, I got you. Nice.
And then you have other abilities like there's like this like ninja mushroom ability that happens every once in a while. Like you have to wait like a power up. Where you could use it with they send all the troops from one mushroom, you can send it out and you can actually take that mushroom from them.
Oh, nice.
But you'd have to know how many troops are in there, or like you can get lucky if you're not playing easy. But yeah, just a super fun game. Like I said, it's like a numbers game.
Nice.
And yeah, it's like a little.
I'll try it out. I just downloaded it. I'll try it out.
Nice. Yeah, the first few levels are free. So that's how they get you though. That's how they get you addicted.
Bastards.
So yeah, man, definitely check that out.
So it's a pay game after?
Yeah, so it's like there's different chapters. So I think if you want to actually buy the first chapter, once you get the play the first like 10, 20 levels, whatever it is, I think it's like I can't remember, like $5 to $7, something like that.
Bastards.
I actually paid the $20 to get like every single one.
Wow.
Yeah. But like I haven't even put a dent in it yet.
Wow.
But yeah, no, it's super fun. But that's how they get you.
Sons of biscuits.
But yeah, I'm not really sure why I downloaded it. I guess it just looked fun to me, and it was like super highly rated on the market. So.
Boredom, I guess.
Yeah, no. Well, I had Northgard as well, so I was like, oh, I'll play this, but then.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I get just such different types of games. Like, one's more like, like, do I have like 20 minutes? And the other one's like, I can take like 5 minutes per game. Like, it can be really quickly.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. Start over again. I guess one's more casual or one's a little bit more hardcore of a game. So two very different, but I've been playing them like just as much. Like to me, they've been just as addictive.
That's
so,
hilarious.
Yeah,
Loving them both.
yeah. So yeah, I recommend both.
Nice.
And those are my games for the week.
There we go.
A little bit more than none. Oh yeah, and I played Warzone.
Oh yeah, nice.
So I guess a few of my buddies are getting back into Warzone.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So I downloaded it on my laptop, but I realized like I can only play in like super low settings, which is fine. It doesn't lag. But yeah, I'm playing on low settings.
Oh, that's interesting. 'Cause you're playing on PC, right? I never thought of that, huh?
But it looks just as good as it did on my Xbox One. So I'm guessing Xbox One also has low settings.
I bet. How do you like using the mouse or the controller?
Oh, I'm still using a controller.
Nice.
I'm still dropping fools.
Nice. Take that.
Yeah, no, so I only played a couple games of that. Man, a lot changed. Like the Goulash has changed.
Really?
I mean, it's still the same, but like the whole like the graphics, the settings, like it looks like they like put so much more work into it. Like before, it was just a pit with like the outside where you can run around in jail cells. Now it's like there's a pit in the middle, and there's like almost like this big like castle structure around it almost, and then like you're like in a cell that you have to like break out of first. It's like really weird.
Interesting.
Yeah, super weird, but it was funny because it was an SMG. Like I died, so I went to the Goulash, had a SMG, and then there was this one guy. He like runs around the corner and he drops right away, and that's like the most like common thing for people to do. So like I was just like, I'm gonna hip fire this anyways because SMG. I don't care where he goes. So as soon as I turn the corner, he drops, and I'm just hip firing like crazy. I shoot him right in the head because that's the only target I have now because he's dropped.
Yeah.
And you know, like you could hear them like after, and he's like super like he's like fuck, right? And it's pretty funny when you hear him when you kill him and shit.
This stupid strategy didn't work.
Yeah, but like yeah, man, like if you have an SMG, just hip fire. That's always the strategy.
Good strategy.
So then I went back and dropped, and then I kind of wanted to die right away, so I just like running towards whoever is firing. Just because I was just like I wasn't playing with anybody right then. I was just like solo.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to like just wanted to see how it was now, and it's pretty much like a lot of it's the same, but the Goulash has changed.
Oh, that's kind of well. I think that was a big knock a lot of people had. You know, they thought it was interesting, but it was kind of annoying.
Yeah. I still don't like the Goulash.
Yeah.
I think, man, as soon as you die, it should be either like go straight to the Goulash where you're fighting for like your way back, which is fine, or like it should be I don't know, something else that you could do. Like you're just waiting on like purgatory with a bunch of other people, like in the beginning of the match where you're just shooting them all and like using all the weapons and whatever, waiting for your turn to use Goulash. Because, like, running around the outside watching people in it, that's not fun.
No, that's super annoying.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
I didn't like the breaking out of the fucking handcuffs. I didn't like any of that. I think it's stupid.
Lame.
The whole point of the video game is, like, supposed to be, like, engaging, not, like, watching something. So, I don't know.
Boring.
So, anyways, sorry. That's my video game.
Nice. There you go. A lot of video games, man. Yeah. You really did it up. Nice. Well done. Let's talk some MMA. Gonna start with KSW 60 DeFries versus Narkun 2. It was a decent card. Caught the highlights. I actually did record it, but I actually didn't get to watch it, so I just caught the highlights. As these cards are usually quite long. KSW putting on a good show again. Two belts on the line where Marian Solkowski defends his belt against Martian Kazuko and gets a rear naked choke in the second round. And Philip DeFries defends his heavyweight title against Thomas Narkun again, getting the TKO victory. Philip DeFries just super big, kind of boring fighter over there, but man, has he ever found a lot of wins underneath the KSW banner? Going to Bellator winning and then moving over to KSW and has not lost in KSW, beating everyone in front of him. Including their basically their toughest guy in Thomas Narkun, and getting him twice. You know what I mean? I think it's too much of a stretch for Narkun. He's, fighting for the 205-pound belt, moving up to heavyweight, trying to do that 2 times in a row. It just doesn't work out for him. DeFries has a win over Brett Rogers. And a loss to Satoshi Ishii. It's kind of got a weird, he actually has a loss to, he did fight in the UFC going, he didn't have a terrible UFC career. He went, 2-3, has a loss to Todd Duffy, Matt Mitrione, and also to Stipe he lost to. Only beating Ole Thompson and Rob Broughton. So he's got that UFC experience, fighting out of the UK, and going to be the KSW champ for a long time to come. Let's move over to PFL 1 2021 regular season. It should be called the BFL, the Boring Fight League, because that's what this card was. All decisions, Kelly, on this Wednesday card except for one. That's not good. When you see these underground kind of lower level cards, you want to see dudes win, dudes get the finishes and knock the other guy out or any way possible. And we didn't see that. The one crazy part about this one here, Kelly, is that the 2 champions from last year, the 2 guys who won the belt and the $1 million last year, both lost their opening round matches, with Marcin Held getting the close decision win over Nathan Schrute, and Bubba Jenkins coming over from Bellator, beating Lance Palmer. Lance Palmer, I really hate him because he's saying how he's the best 140. Before this, he was saying he's the best 145 pounder in the world, and now you've lost to a Bellator reject in Bubba Jenkins, and it wasn't even close. He got ground out the whole time. Lance Palmer needs to get in his fucking lane because, dude, you've been beating up cans in PFL your whole fucking career, fighting the same dude 3 times in a row in 2019, and Alex Gilpin, beating Alex Gilpin 3 times in 1 year, and you're going to want to come out and say, I'm the best in the fucking world? All by decision, too? You can't even defeat Alex Gilpin by decision, by any other way, and you're going to be like, no, I'm the best? You're a fucking idiot. Alex Gilpin is by no means a great fighter. 14-4. 3 of his 4 losses are to Lance Palmer, and it's like, dude, you couldn't even make it into Bellator. You couldn't even make it into UFC even if you tried, and you want to come out and say you're the best 145 pounder in the world. Give me a fucking break. I think his name is The Party too, Lance The Party Palmer. Fighting out of WSOF before that, it's like, just stay in your lane, man. Be quiet, and then maybe be a little bit humble here because you just lost to Bubba Jenkins. I think that's the only reason why Lance Palmer has won all these fights in PFL, Kelly. It's because he's a Division I All-American wrestler. Well, look what happened when you came up against a guy who's a better wrestler than you in Bubba Jenkins. You finally met your match, and you came out that you couldn't hang with him. And yeah, pretty boring card. I can tell you, I fast forwarded through a lot of shit. I can tell you that much. And then the main event wasn't that much better as well, with Anthony Pettis making his debut, losing to Clay Collard. And, Pettis getting kind of beat up pretty bad in the first round, mounting something in the third, but it was just too little too late, unfortunately, for Anthony Showtime Pettis. And not getting a good showing in his debut. Who is Clay Collard here? Let's break this dude down a little bit. So that was, he actually did come from the UFC as well. He fought a few times in the UFC, fought in showdown fights, lots in showdown fights. Really was where he made his home. His first UFC fight was against Max Holloway, poor guy. Then beats Alex White, loses to Gabriel Benitez, loses to Thiago de Santos Silva, and then getting his walking papers after that, going 1-3 in the UFC. And then kind of finding his way around out there to land in PFL to beat basically the guy who was supposed to beat him, and Anthony Pettis. Very bad showing for PFL. I know they put on some decent shows on a Wednesday, but that was a really bad showing. Now that we got all this shit out of the way, let's talk some UFC 261. Usman versus Masvidal. Didn't do great on my picks. on this one here, but let's break this card down here. What a card. One of the craziest cards. Probably for time-wise, it must have been the quickest main event or main show ever. And by far, the amount of commercials and build-up we had to watch because of how quick it was. Like, even going time-wise here. So let's start with the... Okay, so it was a TKO doctor stoppage, so that's 5 minutes, then 17 seconds, and then, 3 minutes. So now we're about 8.5 minutes. And then the next one's a minute and 18. So now we're at 9 minutes. And then the next one's just the second round and a minute in. So it was basically 15 minutes of actual fights for 5 fights. That's amazing. When we could potentially have been looking at 75 minutes. I remember seeing a post too, Kelly, that someone had put boring decision on all the events. They were saying all the main events, it was going to be boring decisions, and they couldn't have been more wrong. We see Irene Canalosi getting a big TKO victory over a gassed out Na Liang. Jeff Molina getting the decision over Quiling Aurori. A lot of Chinese fighters, which I thought was odd. Rodrigo Vargas getting the big win over Zhu Rong. Dana Batagare getting the big TKO victory over Kevin Nativad. And that was a big hook on that one. That was a nice knockout here. Pat Sabatini getting the decision over Tristan Connolly. It was a close one, but Tristan Connolly just not doing enough in the first two. Chasing Sabatini in the third, really, because Sabatini knew he had in the bag. Brendan Allen getting the crazy ankle lock over Carl Robertson. I just went to the fucking bathroom. I thought the round was about to end. I go to the bathroom and come back and the fight's over. I'm like, what the hell? Carl Robertson really, doing great on his feet, and then you're just getting caught trying to go for a heel hook of his own. But Brendan Allen ends up grabbing his leg as well and cranking on his ankle and getting the victory. Dwight Grant, I thought this was the biggest robbery of the night. Dwight Grant getting the split decision over Stefan Sukulik. I thought Stefan had it, but the judges saw it the other way. Randy Rude Boy Brown with the one-arm rear naked choke over Alex Oliveira, Kelly. Whew, that was beautiful. Really piecing him up. Alex Oliveira just had no answer for the reach. Randy Brown is so lanky. His reach is just huge for that. For 170 too is absolutely amazing. And then to get that one arm choke, sinking in the one arm super deep, while Oliveira had two hands on one of Randy Brown's, eventually freeing it and cranking on his neck. Just as he's tapping basically. And then that brings us to the main card where Anthony Smith reverses his losing ways over Jimmy Crute. With a big, huge win over Jimmy Crute on this one here. And what a crazy finish, Kelly, with the round ending and Jimmy Crute walking back to his corner. And basically, his ankle is not working. So it looks like his ankle's fucking broken or something. No, it was nerve damage from a low kick from Anthony Smith. The low kick from Anthony Smith was so hard, it messed up Jimmy Crute's nerves, and his foot wasn't working. It was like he was dragging it behind him. And, the doctor comes in, has him take a few steps forward. Jimmy Crute goes to pound his chest, and then his ankle folds. And the referee has to stop the fight. And deservedly so. His foot was going to get some serious damage if he fought, and you can guarantee Anthony Smith was going to kick the fuck out of his foot. As soon as the bell rang, he was just going to kick him right in the foot. And a good stoppage. It was just sad to see because Jimmy Crute, I really thought was beating up Anthony Smith. I thought there was a bit of a back and forth. And I thought it was going to be one hell of a war. But at the end of the day, Anthony Smith, I thought he was maybe celebrating a bit too much at the end. I thought, maybe he should have been a bit more humble because really it was kind of a freak accident what had happened. And
I don't know. I think if I kicked someone in the leg so hard that I fucked up their nerve, I'd be pretty happy with that.
Still, I agree too. The stoppage was caused by you kicking him, but still, I just think it's one of those things where Anthony Smith had been on the receiving end of some real beatdowns, and I really thought, for a dude, to be excited is one thing. But to be that excited that I thought it was a bit odd. But hey, that's how the fight game works. And then we see one of the most gruesome injuries in combat sports with Chris Weidman throwing the first kick and breaking his leg on that kick in a nasty fashion. Not only to throw the low kick, break his leg on it, basically wrapping his leg around Uriah Hall's, and then to step back on it, only to fall over on his folded over leg. Ugh.
And then he was talking about how, like, Uriah Hall is just like Anderson Silva, but he did what Anderson Silva did against him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of funny. I don't know. It's not funny, but it's like...
How crazy is that, though?
It's wild,
you know what I mean? Weidman breaks Anderson Silva's leg in a similar fashion, and now the same thing happens to him. How fucking crazy is that? And what an interesting 6 degrees of separation for these guys, where Chris Weidman was the first guy to beat Anderson Silva in the UFC, and then Uriah Hall was the last guy to beat Anderson Silva in the UFC. So then here they go head to head, and it was very nice that Uriah Hall said, no matter what the rankings are, if he gets healthy, he'll get him his rematch. And
I don't see him coming back.
I don't see him coming back either. Yeah,
he's an older fighter. It's going to take him a long time to recover from something.
At least a year, and that's if everything goes well.
Yeah,
that's if everything goes well.
I agree. So then he's gonna be like 38, almost 39 when he comes back. Not a good look. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, especially with how bad his jaw's been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what I mean? He's 2 and 6, and now with that loss too, it's not going to be good for him. Does he come? I think I want to see him kind of come back, have the feel good story. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, 2 out of his last 9 fights.
Yeah, exactly, right? You know what I mean? So it's not a good look for him, and only time will tell. Now that brings us to the first title match where Valentina Shevchenko defended her title against a very tough Jessica Andrade. Just too good. Valentina Shevchenko came out with a game plan to prove everyone wrong. She didn't, and it's just such a beautiful style she has, and it's such a compliment to, she's basically the 125-pound George St. Pierre. Amazing st-up, very crisp kicks, great punches, and then a takedown ability like none other. Just like George St. Pierre.
Yeah.
For someone who did not have a wrestling background, Valentina Shevchenko, coming from Russia, moving to South America, and starting her training, her life there, just as a traveling fighter, basically wanting to hone her skill, just to have such beautiful takedowns, not just normal takedowns. These are like the most sophisticated trip takedowns you will ever see in the women's division. And Valentina Shevchenko just I love how she spins. She keeps going for that takedown, just constantly spinning, hoping the person will trip, and that's exactly what she did here. And then to trap Jessica Andrade in the crucifix, and then just pound her out with those elbows. Just absolutely beautiful, and a good stoppage from the ref, because it was only going to get worse from there. There was no way she was going to get out of that. What's that?
It said beat her everywhere.
Beat her everywhere. Really did. Yep. Beat her on the ground. Beat her on the feet. And it was looking great on her feet, but just she wanted to prove everyone wrong, that everyone's saying Jessica Andrade had a better ground game, and she proved that all the haters were absolutely wrong, saying, I'm the champ here. Don't dare disrespect my name, that I'm not a complete fighter like this. And she is 100%. She'll go down with right behind Amanda Nunes as one of the best women MMA fighters in the absolute world, and a Hall of Famer for the UFC, bar none. Very, very easy to slam dunk for her to be a Hall of Famer, and go down, like I said, in the record books, UFC or not, as easily one of the best women fighters, the best fighters, period, in the entire world. And that brings us to the co-main event, where Thug Rose Namajunas head kicks Weili Zhang into next week. Kicked her so hard she didn't even think she was knocked out. That was just absolutely amazing. With that just crazy kick. Like how it even got in there, Kelly. I had to watch the replay 100 times, because how that kick was so quick, so fast, with that amount of space. She just head kicked her in a phone booth, basically, and knocked her the fuck out. That was absolutely an amazing kick right in the beginning too. Oh my God, Thug Rose is back and deservingly be champ. She will also go down as one of the best women fighters in UFC history. It's just so crazy, because I just feel like that is as popular and as captivating as Ronda Rousey was. I think the talent pool, like Amanda Nunes, like Valentina Shevchenko, like Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and like Rose Namajunas, I'd almost say they're better than her on when it comes to, how you stack these names in the Hall of Fame. I think Ronda Rousey's name's behind all these women. Even though that what she did, it kind of came out later on that, she was just beating up cans really and got lucky a few times against some of those cans as well even.
She got exposed when it came to striking at the most elite level.
Yep, she really did. Yeah, she really did. Holly Holmes and then Amanda Nunes posterizing her for the second time too. When you get posterized 2 times in a row, that's not a good look for anybody. Then that shows to me, that you're not, even Anderson Silva, even though he had a terrible career on the end of his career, he didn't really get posterized, until really he got posterized by Weidman for the first knockout, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Plus he was playing games.
Exactly. So Rose walks away out of Jacksonville, Florida with the belt as the new strawweight champion of the world, Thug Rose Namajunas.
Fighting someone I thought would be her toughest opponent.
Absolutely, yep, absolutely.
So
and Zhang just ate all that head kick. I don't know how anyone would have stopped that, how anyone would have prepared for that kick, but that kick, like I said, man, it just was so crisp, so quick, and just right on the jaw. And just her hand just moved out of the way just by an inch. I almost thought it knocked her hand out of the way, but she somehow got it in between her hand and her head. It was absolutely amazing. And that brings us to the main event of the evening. Kamaru Usman taking on game-bred Jorge Masvidal. Did not see that coming. Jorge had a great first round. And I think Usman, what I really enjoyed about this one was Usman, really switching it up. Not just going with the jab. Even though his jab was super effective and it was his bread and butter and it was tearing dudes apart, he really switched it up in the first round. And I really enjoyed that. He really, was throwing a lot of hooks, throwing a lot of feints, throwing a lot of different looks at Jorge because he was dodging the jab. He was just getting out of reach of the jab. So it kind of made Usman say, okay, I've learned a lot of new shit and I'm going to use it on you tonight. And really only one jab landed in the first round. And it was a very, it was a very close first round with Usman getting the nice takedown. But Jorge kind of, owning it a little bit more on the feet, landing a few decent shots and clipping Usman a little bit there, I thought as well. But then the second round opens up and Usman just with that missile launcher. He has that jab of a shotgun jab, but that straight was a fucking missile launcher. And it just cranked Jorge Masvidal. First time he has ever been knocked out in his MMA career or ever really. And man, oh man, that was just absolutely insane. I don't know, it says he has been knocked out before here. Let's take a look here. I could have swore he hadn't been knocked out here. Let's take a look. Who did he? He actually lost to Alain Quinta a while back. Interesting. Let's see here. Gilbert Melendez, he has lost to Paul Daly. Toby Amati got choked out by Rodrigo Dam? Huh. Oh, that's a TKO though. Yeah, Rodrigo Dam. He got TKO'd by him, not KO'd. I guess they just put him in the same boat. Yeah, they just put him in the same boat. And boom, we see the actual first KO of Gamebred Masvidal. He even said it afterwards. I got it. I was in my own head, and I was overconfident. But that's going to be a long tumble. That's a very long tumble back to the bottom. Now for Jorge, does he? He's obviously made a lot of money from the first fight. And he's going to make a lot of money from this fight as well, being that last second replacement on the 6 days notice. And, he's got doing different things. He's on social media, he's obviously got his hands in a lot of pockets when it comes to different things. He's wearing a lot of different hats outside of the UFC. And, dude's been fighting backyard bare knuckle for, when he was a young kid. Now moving up to this, his the tread on his tires is getting worn out, I think. And this is a perfect example to get knocked out. Anyone would get knocked out by that punch. You got a little cocky, and Usman made it pay for it. And if you asked me, 2 days ago, Kelly, who the best welterweight was, obviously I would have said George St. Pierre. And now today, Kamaru Usman is a very close second with that victory. And what I love about Kamaru Usman is not only has he been the champ for a while now, but he's getting better. That's what's crazy. Some champs, they win and then they kind of start coasting. They start coasting off of what they have and who they are and coasting to decisions just for the safe win. And Usman has 2 KO victories now in his last 2 fights against easily the toughest 170 pounders in the absolute world. And now we're seeing a guy who has out of his title defenses, he's even with his title win, which was a victory, he only has one other decision since then, and it was against Jorge Masvidal in their first matchup. And he TKOs Colby Covington right at the end of the 5th round, and TKOs Gilbert Burns in the 3rd round, and now he's got a huge KO victory over Jorge Masvidal. And now the dude's gonna get paid. Top pound for pound fighter in the UFC. I think he's got to be knocking on that door too.
How long do you think he stays at the top? Because he's 33 right now. I think he starts, leaving his prime around 36.
Yeah.
Probably completely out of it by 40.
I think 4 more fights. We may see a regression, but this guy is so mentally determined. Yeah. I don't know. Could he just keep winning until he's 40?
Might be like a Yo Romero, where he's just super genetically gifted. So.
I can see that. Yep, I can see that. And man, oh man, what a win! What a great gracious victory. Even saying only reason why I brought it because Jorge Masvidal made me. Jorge Masvidal I knew he was so good that I had to push myself to a new level, and I cannot believe that. With all the fame, all the hype, and he just never forgets to get a day in the gym, and my hat goes off to Kamaru Usman as undeniably the best welterweight right now. The new modern era of welterweight is Kamaru Usman. And
how do they not do an African card?
Yeah, I know. We've talked about that before in the past. I would love to see an African card, especially in Nigeria or South Africa, something like that. I don't know what the infrastructure is like over there. How they're doing with COVID. I have no clue. Yeah. Anywhere in Africa, absolutely. I think it'd be massive. Like I said before in the past, I think it'd be great to have all these African fighters like Ngannou, like Usman, like Adesanya, all on the same card. And have like a young, it'd be generational and changing for a kid, to go to that and say, hey, these guys came from Africa and they made something with their life, and I can do that too. Yeah. And I think that's what you want to see, especially when it comes to this. And I think it would be hugely beneficial for the UFC and for Africa. And I would love to see that. Even the whole continent, would be the whole continent would be stopping what they're doing and watching. Absolutely.
They have never been over there.
Never.
Never seen a show. That's crazy. Well, they've probably seen shows. They've just never seen the show in Africa.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Crazy.
Great event. Who fights Usman next? I do not know. Who fights Jorge Masvidal next? Once again, I don't know. I really don't know. Back to the drawing board for Jorge.
I think Masvidal said he's just gonna start doing his bare knuckle thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's gonna quit fighting altogether after this, because it was probably a huge paycheck for him. And I can't really see him fighting like Nate Diaz or Conor McGregor again. So I think, if he just takes his money, starts the organization, I think he can do quite well because he does have a following already.
Yep.
And people like bare knuckle boxing.
For sure. It's really popular right now.
So I think he can do well.
I think the one thing, and I love Jorge. I've been talking about him for years. Loved him from Bellator, from his backyard fighting days with Kimbo. But I think he has to lose. I think he should have given the BMF belt to Usman that night. I just think it's, the now is the first dude to knock you out basically ever, and MMA deserves that belt. And
how I looked at the belt though was like it's multi weight belt. Like if you're just fighting at one weight class, you don't really get to fight for the BMF belt.
Oh, okay,
so that's kind of how I looked at it. So like to me it made sense because he's not fighting at 155. Yep. He's only fighting at 170. So to me, it made sense, but that's how I looked at it.
Yeah. I agree. No, I agree. I hear what you're saying.
Because you have to be a pretty bad motherfucker to step up to 170 and fight someone Usman size.
That's true. Massive 170.
Yeah.
Great show today, my man. Great show. Well, then let's wrap her up here. Great show. Just want to give a special shout out to all the people out there listening. Appreciate you guys tuning in every week to week. The Spotify peeps, thank you as much as well. Everyone else listening on any other platform, we love you guys. Check us out on Twitter @NNewPodcast. Dana White, I know you read my tweet last night. hit us up if you want to buy the name. It'll be very. We'll talk money. We'll talk money. Well then, without further ado, for producer extraordinaire Kelly, my name is Steven, and you've been listening to the New Podcast. Signing off. My monkey got stuck. Now I can't get him off. It happens to me all the fucking time.